Ahoy toy, welcome to Transfixed, the channel that will lift your spirits. In this second video for StarCom, we are looking at the BATTLECRANE. That's right, this is from the 80s when they knew how to make cool names for toys, even for something utilitarian like this. StarCom had a lot of these type of things, which were useful and believable as a space vehicle, but it also was armed to the teeth. I think this is the first StarCom toy that I got because it was just a really good value. It didn't cost a lot. I think it still doesn't cost a lot. And it has the vehicle and this cargo pod and the pilot, which is awesome. You may notice right off the bat the shape of this conforms to most of the small vehicles in the StarCom line, where it's this, I don't know, this rectangular prism with the beveled edges. And basically it's this. This shape is what most of the small vehicles conform to, which is very smart that they're standardized. That way they all kind of interact with each other. This is just a hollow pod. You can see here where it tells you to pull. I put that sticker there so that I know to pull this down. Open the door. I use it for weapon storage, obviously. This is all the backpacks and weapons for my StarCom figures, but there's not much else to say about the cargo pod, except that it's quite useful. Now, this guy itself is packed with features. Every surface of this does something, it seems like, and that's not in a bad way. They didn't overdo it. It's very smartly done. This is the same size because you can put it inside of something like a Star Max bomber, but I guess you would say it transforms. So the first thing you want to do is probably just pull all these legs out. They extend out very easily, and then they just open up like this. It's got a joint here and here, and it swivels on here. So these are kind of, it makes it look kind of spider-like. You can have it sit on top of these things now. Well, let's get to that later. So now it can stand. We need to get a pilot in it. So there's two buttons back here, which are very elegantly integrated in here. Now the larger button will extend the cockpit and swing out the little guns here. And then you can lift this up to put somebody inside of it. It does go this far forward, but we only need it that far. And when it comes out, you can see that it also reveals another plate on the ground to stick the feet of the pilot in there. And then the other button here is to spring out these like hovercraft fans, like that. And then the last thing is just to swing out the larger gun and then telescope it out. And we are in business. And here we have Sergeant Bob Anders in his Star Wing uniform. Now, I forgot to mention in the previous video, well, actually I hadn't noticed it yet, but in the StarCom cartoon, they only use one color scheme. So if you see Bob Anders in the cartoon, he won't have this color scheme. He'll have this uniform, but in the same colors as Dash Derringer. And they do the same for the other ones too. So Crowbar is the template for all the Astro Marines, and likewise, Slim is the color scheme for all of Starbase Command. So I guess, I don't know, I guess that's just a way it's easier to keep track of them where you don't have to keep track of everyone's uniform. So we can just bend his knees and sit him down there, and his feet will lock in magnetically. And yes, so now we'll just put this like that, and he can now fly around. And you can also do this as well if you want to have it, you know, lower to the ground. You could do that. But the idea is, being the BATTLECRANE, these are little one-man transports, so they would swoop in and like this and pick up these cargo pods, and away they go and fly away with it. And when they want to release it, you can use the same button that you used to extend the cockpit forward. It also pushes this piece down to release the cargo. So that's pretty smart. It's the same button. You don't need a third button to do that. Of course, you could also pick up a fuel pod from the Harv 7, or he could swoop down and capture an enemy vehicle. So versatile. And speaking of fuel, there is a fuel port in this vehicle right here. Sometimes it has a sticker. I don't know if I'm missing mine. And then you can use the fuel pod or something like that to stick in there and refuel your BATTLECRANE. We need Sean Reed in here, the official StarCom fuel pumper of Starbase Command. There we go. Now we're doing it officially. Must be a union thing. We gotta obey the union regulations here. There we go. The BATTLECRANE has a few nice stickers on it. Of course, there's StarCom there, and I don't know, Star Wing seems to have two logos. There's the spread wing bird here, and then the bird head. Both of these go with symbols on the pilot's uniform. Well, let's take him out there for a moment. And there's a, looks like a headlight sticker here. There seems to be a bit of yellowing over time on the clear plastic. I think this was a smoky gray, but it's got a bit of a yellow tint to it now. If you have yellowing to the white plastic on your StarCom, you can just bleach it out. I use that hair bleach, and a bit of tape. I just masked off the outside areas with tape so that I would just hit the seam with that stuff. And there is a whitening video on my channel, how to whiten vehicles. It's got a wheeljack transformer in the thumbnail, but I'm going to be doing an updated version of that, so keep an eye out if you're interested. And also, thanks to the StarCom HQ website, I was able to remove a bit of the rust. There's a bit of rust down there I need to work on. But you can use silicone spray, which is more of a lubricant, but it does keep away the rust. It'll remove a bit of the rust safely, and it will also help prevent more rust from creeping in. So silicone spray is good for that. There's not a lot else to say about this little guy. There's a lot of nice molded detail in the other parts of the toy, and the cockpit has a nice little seat with some controls molded into it. I mean, I guess that's pretty much it. The Battlecrane's a cool little vehicle. If you're into StarCom, I recommend you get one. They're very useful, and you can use them as attack vehicles too. But mostly I always sold them these cool, flexible legs. I love that you can get it into all kinds of different positions. It's great if you want to crash it. You can you can just collapse it down. You can also have it fly around, with the legs up, however you want it. You can fold this up, so it's more in like a cruising mode, I suppose. Awesome, awesome little toy. 10 out of 10. Anyway, that's the Battlecrane. Next up will be the Harv 7, so I hope we come back for that. Thanks for watching.